Hey ladies and gents, Rift here, and today we're going to be going over another Getsu Fuma video. Today what I'm going to look at though is getting you guys out of Limbo. So the very first biome, we're going to take a look at everything you need to know to get through that biome. Now I'm sure some people have been getting through that no problem, but I want to make sure I can help you guys try and maximize your runs and make sure you're getting through there without taking as much damage, or maybe just making sure you know what's going to be happening each time. So without further ado, let's get into it. So ladies and gents, in regards to Limbo, this is the first biome, and it's arguably the easiest. There's a few things we're going to pay attention to, and we're going to talk about first, and that is the now the enemies in the Limbo biome really don't have a whole lot of variation. You're going to be running into either the Oni, the rock throwing guys, and skeletons. Now the skeletons have a few forms. They're either going to have a katana or they're going to have a bow. And of these enemies, you really only have to worry about the Oni. Reason why is because every other one has very clear attack patterns, or you can burst them down with one combo of your weapon. You'll notice I usually use the katana. Reason why is because you always get one to start, and it's the fastest. I think at least, as well as the parry move really helps you work with the. So in regards to these guys, the biggest thing is worry about the Onis. Either roll through their attack, so as their downswing comes through, roll through them, or time your parry ability. If you're someone who's like, yo Rift, I'm not going to be using the katana, I like to use something else, that's fine by me. Just make sure you roll through them. If you try and roll backwards, you're going to lose a timing window, and you'll be able to basically nuke through them as quick as possible if you just roll straight on through. The second thing we're going to be talking about today is getting items. Now in Limbo, you're going to run into 3 large chests and 3 small chests. Now this number can vary a little bit depending on the run, but that's usually the average. With this, the large chest is always going to have a main weapon or a primary weapon, and the small chest will always have a secondary weapon. Now, big importance here is to make sure you pick up secondary weapons. I don't care what you use as your main weapon, but make sure you always have 2 secondaries. Reason why is because this can help you fill your damage a little bit faster, as well as make sure you can animation cancel as well, or just throw them into your abilities, make sure you can actually get enough damage out. Always secondary weapons have higher damage usually than your base attacks, depending on what you're using, so it's good to pick those guys up. Also, side note, make sure you're dismantling everything. Anything you don't use, make sure you dismantle, because you're going to be able to get as much gold as possible. By gold, I mean all those, the nice little crystals and everything like that, to make sure you can actually unlock and upgrade everything. Third thing we want to talk about today is the souls. Now, in Limbo, you're going to get probably about 4 to 5 souls. What this means is you're going to be able to upgrade probably twice. The upgrades I always choose to do fall in this form. I always do a main weapon upgrade first off. So the first soul I get, that's what I'm taking. Now remember, you get souls from either elites or large chests. Now as I mentioned, you're going to get at least 3 large chests, so you'll have 3 souls guaranteed. And you usually run into 1 elite at a minimum. So at the smallest minimum number you're going to be walking out with souls is 4. It means I'm going to always get 1 main weapon upgrade and 1 body upgrade. That's my go-to. Reason why is because the body upgrade gives you basically a huge health increase. At the minimum, I believe it's 500. It's usually more if you've done any upgrades with your character. Those are the kind of important things to do with the souls. If you get extra and you're like, what do you do afterwards, Rift? I usually either balance it into main or secondary weapons, depending on how many souls we have. So ladies and gents, as I mentioned, with the map, what we're going to be looking at here is basically just the general layout. Now this is a roguelike, so what's going to happen is every map is going to be different. It's procedurally generated. Important thing to note though is every biome follows some sort of overall protocol or overall general layout, which means it's always going to have some key criteria. You're going to notice with Limbo, you are always going to end up lower than where you started. Kind of like the game of Limbo, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, that was bad. Anyway, but with this, what's going to happen is you're going to work in a general loop. You're always going to notice you're going to be starting higher and you're going to end lower, but you're always almost end up underneath where you started. You'll notice that these are 3 maps that I've pulled from some of my previous runs, and they all follow roughly the same pattern. The biggest thing you'll notice that's kind of weird between all of them is the first larger picture at the top there. You'll notice that you kind of actually have to go under and then up, which doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, you're just going to be able to go all the way across horizontally, and then work your way down. There's also always going to be 1 drop down at the beginning of every map. It'll either lead to a couple enemies and then a dead end, or a couple enemies, and then a way around. This is important to note because if you're trying to just kind of get into the game and trying to understand where the maps are going to be taking you, it's always nice to have a general understanding of the map layout. And last but not least, we got our boss, our boy Ryutsuki. Ryu? Oh, yeah, we're just going to call him Ryu. Now, Ryu here has a pretty straightforward fight. He's got two hands that you're going to want to break. Now, the reason why you want to break his hands here, you're going to notice me, I'm just mowing through this man, is because you want to get to the heart. The heart lets you do a kind of massive ability that does a large amount of damage. Now, Ryu's going to have two main attacks you're going to see a lot. He's either going to throw his left hand at you all the way across the screen, which you can avoid by just running to the opposite corner. He's also going to do the ground pound that you're seeing right now. The ground pound, you can either roll the way, just get out of there, or if you want to, you can parry it. It will give you a insta flash, which gives you that extra damage. Once you break the hands down, you get to do your combo. Reminder with this, always, always, always auto it. You have to use your normal attack to get the combo off. If you use any special ability, if you're, say, using the dual blades, you're going to end up having him actually not get the bonus damage. It's just going to count it as you're doing your special, so you won't get that huge extra damage on him. Now, Ryu also has two other attacks that you will see quite often. You're either going to see, or sorry, three other attacks, which involve him throwing out flaming skulls or shooting fireballs. Now, if you're someone who wants to get through him as fast as possible, you can follow the method I just did, where you can nuke through him by simply just doing your combo on his hand and then throwing in your sub weapons. Being able to kind of combo those in there allows you to get through them very quickly and make this boss really a piece of cake. Most people find this boss pretty easy that I've talked to. They seem to be able to mow through him quickly. So just avoid his hands and make sure you can spit out as much damage as possible. But other than that, ladies and gents, this is Limbo. It's the first biome. I'm going to be doing more of this stuff where I'm going to try and talk about each and every biome. Let me know what you think about them. Give me any feedback. And for anyone who's been subbing and commenting and liking while I've been gone, thank you so much for that. I know it's been a while, but I'm back to putting out more content, hopefully. So with that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great one. See you in the next one.